Let Just Better Care provide the in-home support you need to live independently. Visit justbettercare.com today.
Welcome to episode 3 of the Just Better Care Wheelchair Access podcast. This morning we're joined by Eino Okkonen. Welcome this morning, Eino.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Yes, it's great to have you. Such a legend of the local Illawarra Wollongong roller hawks. So I've heard from multiple stories. So I look forward to having a chat with you today. So if you'd like to just sort of start a bit about your background.
Sure.
Obviously, for the listeners at home, you've migrated to Australia, so if you'd sort of like to start.
I was born in Finland, a place called Oulu, and I looked it up, it's 65 point something degrees north, so it's up there near the Arctic Circle. Our winters, the sun doesn't actually rise, it's dark. I can remember going to school. I went to school for about 3 months, and I can remember skiing to school under streetlights. In a blizzard, we came to Australia. We left Finland. I think it had something to do with our neighbours, unfriendly, the Russians. We had a few wars with them. There's the Winter War, which is a very famous war where they were beaten thoroughly, but we didn't win. That was the battle. We didn't win the war. That was only the battle that we won, and we always brag about that. We came, and communism was going into Finland, and Mum and Dad thought, no, this is not the place to be. And Australia was looking for immigrants, There'd be work guaranteed, free schools, and I found out later on, and a free bottle of milk every morning. That doesn't happen now, but in those days, I came to Australia. I lived at Bonegilla for about a month, which is a hostel in Victoria. And then lived at Fairy Meadow Hostel, for a bit longer, maybe 6 months. I don't know.
So how old were you when the family migrated?
We came by ship, and I turned 7 on the way. So I just sort of got here, and I was 7. My birthday was on Christmas Eve. Got here January, so it was somewhere in there on that trip. I had a birthday.
Yeah, wow, and that would have been an interesting experience. I know my dad migrated from Italy as well, and came on the boat, and I think it took like 2 months or something like that.
Probably was like that.
Yeah,
went through the Suez Canal and that.
Yeah, wow, that's just.
Yeah, we came over across on a Italian boat.
Okay.
It was called a Flaminia. I don't think it's around anymore.
Yeah, no. Well, I hope not. They might be struggling a little bit. So, and what year was that you?
I got here in 1959, January 59.
Okay. And
I ended up going to school. I probably started school here when I was, I might have been 8 by the time I started school here. So late starting. Ended up going to 3rd class. And I couldn't understand the language, couldn't speak that. They looked at me, this kid needs to repeat. They repeated me, which was a great thing for me. Then I ended up with the bunch that I grew up with. It's called the Oakflats 1965 First Form High School group, which we meet together regularly.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It still happens. And we're going down to Bega, Bermagui. I got it right that time, Bermagui, to spend 4 or 5 days down there enjoying our company.
Wow.
Anyway, I went to school. I was school captain in primary school. Don't ask me how. They must have just liked me, or nobody else wanted to do it. And then went to high school at Oakflats. I had trouble with my English all the way along. In the HSC, I had to get a remark because I got a level 2, and to get to university, I got a level 3, and to get to university, I needed a level 2. I got a remark, got my level 2. I ended up doing engineering. I topped engineering in university, and I topped mathematics in my group. I'm dyslexic, by the way. To date, I've only read 2 books, and one was Biggles.
Well, you've obviously done something right to get to where you were as well.
I think about that, because you don't read, you get other strengths. And it's probably because I don't read that I do a lot more thinking, and I'm actually a person who engineers things. You know, like I'm always asking, what are we doing? What should we be doing? How do we get there? When? You know, how much is it going to cost? And who's going to be involved? And so I don't accept what's written down. I've got a free mind.
Yeah, look, and obviously to get where you are, like, and the experiences you've had, like, there's you may not be able to read or read as well, but you've definitely overcome some challenges moving to a different country on the opposite side of the world and not speaking the language and having to adjust. You're saying you used to ski to school, like that's completely different moving to Australia, particularly Bongilla. I know it well. It's near Albury, and the summers are definitely a lot different to what you would have experienced. So there would have been a lot of change having to adjust in that. So obviously, once you've settled into Australia and gone through school and all that, then you had your injury. Would you like to talk about how you become an amputee yourself?
Sure, I will. But first of all, let me tell you a little bit of Finland. Where I came from, the minimum temperature we've ever had is 47, minus 47 degrees Celsius, and every year we get at least minus 20. Like, so anyway,
that's it's hard to even comprehend.
When you talk about Albury and that
extremes,
the extremes,
I can't even imagine how you deal with that sort of temperature.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But anyway, get back to I was working at Sydney Water. I was a construction engineer. I got a master's degree in management, and it sort of allowed me to apply for other jobs. And I applied to join a group to help redesign Sydney Water, part of Sydney Water. And then I did that. I did a lot of analysis study and put a proposal up, and went to the board, and they looked at it and they said, "Go ahead, son, go and do it." And so I reorganised, did all the paperwork, all the thinking, and all the the approvals and the discussions, and it was approved. Anyway, so the day of my accident, the next day, I was to do a presentation to 500 people about their future. So anyway, I'm going home, and my car it's blown smoke everywhere, and I'm thinking, oh, this car's on fire. I'm not on fire, but we'll be on fire soon. So I better pull over, and I couldn't pull over for a while. And then I saw a spot, and I pulled over. I jumped out of my car, thinking, kaboom, and it didn't do that. So I got back in my car, and I'm sitting in the breakdown lane, and somebody came past. I can't remember their name anyway, it doesn't matter. But the car came past with a big bull bar on it, and came very close to my car, and the door went out. My foot was on the sill of the door, and it concertinaed when they took it out, and they took my foot out off me. I looked down, and my leg was gone from my knee down. And the first thing I thought of, I better do something about this. I won't be here much longer. I better tourniquet on. And then I lost sight. Couldn't talk, all that sort of stuff. But the last thing I saw was a police car's blue lights, and I thought, well, it can't be too much longer now. They'll get the ambulance will be here soon. And then I was in a different state of consciousness. I can remember talking to a bloke in there that had committed suicide, and I said to him, "What are you doing here? You committed suicide." And he was working a garbage truck. Now, I didn't know that he was a garbo. So I don't know what happened. How did I know that when I was, in a different state of consciousness? Anyway, so the ambulance rock up, but before they rock up, I can remember thinking I was going to probably pass away. I said, "Look, I can't go yet. I've got too much to do." Like that's sentiment. So I think that kept me going as well. But then the ambulance come up and come up there, and all of a sudden I'm talking to you, just as clearly as I'm talking to you. I'm talking to him. I was there resuscitated there, obviously. Anyway, they packed me up and put me in the ambulance, and we went off towards the hospital. And they stopped the ambulance once, and I said, "Why are we stopping?" And he said, "Oh," they gave me this answer, and I thought, gee, that's too much information. Two of my brothers were paramedics. One was out local, and one was in Cooma, and they thought I was a paramedic from Cooma. That's what they thought. Anyway, I thought, oh, okay. And we go around a bend at Titan Motors at Sutherland, you probably know the real sharp bend.
Yes, yeah.
I fall onto the floor. It was a very memorable night. Anyway, they put me back up, and we get into hospital, and they're waiting to resuscitate, not resuscitate, to stabilise, my readings. And I thought, I got to go and do a presentation tomorrow morning. So I rang my second in charge, says, "Look, can you come in here? I'm in the hospital, I've just lost my leg, can you do the presentation for me?" Anyway, that was the day of the accident, and I spent quite a lot of time in hospital, intensive care for a long time. People would see me afterwards, say, I tell them I had an accident. "Oh yeah, I come and saw you." And I said, couldn't remember a thing. I said, "I remember now," but when I was,
that's
you
right,
just don't remember.
through it. Exactly right. So very traumatic and unexpected to, go through something like that when you're just pulling over, doing the right thing as well, and not expecting that to happen. But obviously, saying you've got a lot more to achieve is definitely the case with yourself. And so then obviously you had the disability, went through all the rehab and all that. How did you then get into the wheelchair basketball?
Okay, so I was getting rehab at Port Kembla Hospital, and I'd go in there every day, and I thought I used to do a lot of sport. Sport was part of my life.
Did you play basketball before?
I did play.
Okay.
I played basketball before. I played rugby league. I got picked to play for Illawarra against Queensland. I couldn't play. I had the appendix out. But all those sort of things. Anyway, I asked the physiotherapist there, and I said, "Look, what can I do? I need to do something." And she found out two guys were training at Beaton Park. Brendan Dowler, he's our coach and an Australian player, and Darren Hayes. Now, Brendan's just been awarded a thing in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if you know that.
Yes, I did see that. That's amazing.
Yeah, he's an amazing person. Yeah. He's what he's gone through leaves me for dead, and what Tristan's gone through leaves me for dead.
Oh, I don't know about that. It's you've got your story and you've been through a lot, and speaking to people around the club, or the things that you've done, and throughout the history to get these players to where they are as well. A lot of them credit yourself. So don't sell your story too short. So.
No. Like I look at what I've done, and I see it's not about me. It's about everybody.
Exactly.
So we started playing. I played for a Sydney National League team for quite a few years. I used to pick up Brendan, and we'd travel together. I'd get home about 1 o'clock in the morning. It was one of those things. And then one day I thought, there must be people in Illawarra that could do this sort of thing, and it'd be good for them. Why would I drive 2 hours to train in? And then so it meant a lot to me. So then I decided that we should set up our own team. And Brendan helped me, Darren helped me, and we got it going. And one of the things that really helped us, I was, as I said a little bit earlier, I was the attaché for the Finnish Paralympic team, and I saw Joey Johnson. I'd heard of Joey Johnson. He's a Canadian player, one of the best players in the world. I walked up to him and I said, "I'm Eino Okkonen, you're Joey Johnson." And he said, "Yes." I said, "Would you like to play basketball in Australia? I'm setting up a new team next year." And he said, "Yeah, okay." And we exchanged, "I'll think about it," he said, and we exchanged contact details. Anyway, so that was it. Like 2 minutes, and I've recruited him.
Yeah,
and he rolled up twice, and he taught us how to play basketball. He was one of the best players in the world. He was probably the best player, and he taught us so much. We were at the advantage over a lot of other people because of his experience and his coaching.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously, you talked about from your injury and then going up to Sydney to play down there, to play up there. Obviously, there was yourself and a couple of other guys, like travelling up and down. That takes a toll on people, let alone then going, well, how can we make this better? So obviously you started setting up the Wollongong Roller Hawks down here. How did that come about? I guess, a lot of people see things missing. I know, I started my company here because I saw a need for it. A lot of people see a need, but then to actually start something and make that come to fruition is a different story. So you know, we all have a lot of ideas,
Yeah.
but how do we make those happen?
Yeah, okay, so what happened in our case was that we actually applied to get in a league in the year 2000, and they said, no, we're not going to let you do that because you'll disrupt some of the teams. So we held a dinner for the Roller Hawks. I spoke with I can't think of his name now, but he was running the Wollongong Hawks, and he and I suggested and talked about calling us the Roller Hawks, which was fine. Anyway, we had a dinner, and we invited some guest speakers, and we raised, I don't know, something like $24,000. And amongst that group that came, there were people that had been involved with the Hawks and sort of retired, so they came and helped us, and it was one of those timely things where the right place at the right time, and I got some people together that really helped us, you know, get it over the line. I was the president for a couple of years, and after which I thought, okay, I need to get somebody else to do that job because I was just doing too much and it was too hard, you know, like to do all of it. Anyway, so it just started off with a dinner, and people said, oh yeah, we'll help with that. I think it was Nick Farr-Jones was the guest speaker, you know, so it was like that. We had 200 people there. We don't do that now anymore, but we might do it, I'm not sure, but in those days we used to sell memorabilia, and the sale process was just in your face, too much in your face, so we sort of cut that out. But
yeah, I guess it's a different beast now, the way marketing and advertising and things work, particularly with sport and where the professionalism has come from. But you know, that's what you had to do, like particularly, you know, I'm from a regional town as well, and it's all about local sport and how you can support each other and the team and fundraise and things like that. So obviously you were then led into the National League in 2001, is that correct?
That's right, yeah.
Yep, and so the first regional team to enter that, it must be
still the only regional team.
Oh, only well, that's very true. So,
yeah.
And that's, you know, amazing. To what are we, 2023 now? So 22 years that's been going on, and they've won a few titles, so they're doing quite well.
Oh, I think we've got 7 titles.
Yeah.
And one year we were robbed right under, like it could be 8, could be 9, but 7's good.
Yeah.
So it's my favourite number.
We'll go like Brisbane was robbed on the weekend, but different story. So, but yeah. So look, obviously, you know, setting that up is not a mean feat, and to where we are now. So, you know, obviously you touched on Joey Johnson. How has yourself, as well as like obviously recruiting Joey Johnson, but over the years, I know, you know, I had a podcast with Luke Popel. He was on the first one, and then we've had Tristan on the second one. How have you been involved in getting some of those players and the recruitment over the years? Okay,
so I would be walking around, say Shellharbour Square, and I would see somebody that was in a wheelchair or had a limp or something like that. I'd go and approach him. Luke's a good story. Luke was there one day, and he was about 12 years of age, and I come from behind him and I tapped him on the shoulder and says, "G'day, I'm Eino Okkonen." He looks at me like he's only a kid. Right? And I said, "Would you like to play wheelchair basketball?" I said, "One day you'll play for Australia. Come and have a go." And he came in, had a go, and now he's played for Australia. He's captain an Australian team, and he's just been away playing in a tournament in Europe. So, you know, like he's a kid. He's 12 years old, sitting in a wheelchair, not athletic, and then he's plays for Australia. So, you know, my selling pitch here is, join us, come and have a go, because you'll like it, and you could, you know, play for Australia, or you could just do it socially, or you could do it for your fitness, you know. And there's lots of reasons to come in. If you come and have a try, I know they'll stay, right? So I would like to see somehow where we get more people known about us to come and have a go, you know.
Yes, definitely.
We're gonna have a Juniors Day in December. You know, come and try Juniors Day. We're hoping to set up a local comp, which will take a little bit. But there's only one shopping centre I go to. Like, there must be other ones where there's kids in wheelchairs and, you know, rolling around. But I have to find some other way of get into them. Now I look at your organisation here, and I think, wow, okay, here's a chance.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's about those partnerships. And,
you know, like there's a bloke over there in that picture there in a wheelchair.
Yeah,
I don't no idea who he is, but he can join.
Exactly.
So
it's
you're
about finding those opportunities.
Yeah. So
it?
you know, I'm not going to ask you to when you see those people. You know, we might have something to give you that you can hand it to them.
The fastest I've gone so far is about 32 kilometers an hour. Downhill with a tailwind. Yeah, blind luck on my side. I think having Just Better Care personnel in my life has been a great benefit. It just makes me feel more confident. My wife has to do a lot of my work for me. It's nice that she can tell someone, will you do this for my husband? It takes a little strain off her. Yeah.
Obviously, it helps. You know, starting back in 2001, the way social media wasn't really around then either. So to be able to be prominent and show good examples of people with disabilities and what they're achieving and what you can do, particularly in sport, was not really seen on mainstream media. And speaking to Luke and Tristan and what they've achieved, and yourself and numerous other players that have gone through the Roller Hawks, like that must make you feel proud that you've had some involvement in getting them into the sport, and giving people those opportunities to have I don't want to say a better life, but have better opportunities and be exposed to international travel. Like some of those things is not even in people's mindsets. Yeah,
look, I don't look for pats on the back. I just seem to do it, and I'm happy to see these people. I'm happy for them. I'm happy that they're involved and their lives are better. I have got a Hall of Fame thing at Shell Harbour. I've got an Australia Day Award. I'm Life Member at Wheelchair Sports. I've got those. I mean, and I'm proud to have them, but I don't go for that. So it's not about me, like I said before. It's about helping others.
Yep, and I think that's great to recognise yourself, and we'll touch on that in a bit. And Tristan did mention it as well. It's that team aspect and that empowering and just giving people something different to be able to focus on. And Tristan touched it, I'm sure yourself and myself, when you have an injury, and particularly at a young age, it's that what does this mean? Or Tristan talked about just little things about, am I going to be able to have a girlfriend, or not knowing what's out there, or that, and having people like yourself and Tristan, that to then be able to give opportunities and different options to other young kids, to as you said, Luke going through a shopping centre just thinking that's his day, and then now he's travelling the world playing for Australia. Like, it's being able to give those opportunities to people.
He's a magical person. He just flows with energy, and anyway, after I had my accident, I found it very difficult to look at people in the eye. I looked down. After we got set up and we became known and people started to barrack for us, that went away. So I could actually look people in the eye and feel like normal, as normal as you can get. And I go through a stage where I cover my leg. I don't cover my leg. I wear long pants, and if I wear long pants, people can't see that I've got well, they can probably see it, but they can't see my robotic leg. And part of joining in and having a group get together, you actually can face society a lot easier. You go down there and they want to talk to you, and that's another aspect that you don't normally think about. Definitely. So you join something like this either for health, fitness, social aspect, for competition, friendship. Mind you, the people I have meet at training, I send them to train every week, and they're part of my life. I get there first thing and I do it. I don't see them outside of training, but I don't have to. If I do, we have a chat, and we have good chats.
Yep.
But you know, they come from all over the place. You know, and I have a family with I got 19 grandkids. You know, and my wife's got 4. So you know, I got my life full of people that I've got to care for. You know, roundabout way.
Yeah, but look, and obviously it's about that representation, isn't it? So it's, you know, as you said, you were travelling to Sydney to play, and it's like, you know, surely there's got to be something local, and that's what we find, you know, now, like, things are becoming more accessible. There is becoming more opportunities, whether it is in sport or in work. You know, we're becoming more adaptable, and that's allowing people with disabilities to be seen in, whether it's mainstream media or in sport or in the workplace. All those little things help. And, you know, for yourself, there was obviously that adjustment, you know, learning to, you know, not hide your disability, but, you know, coming to terms with it. But then through success, it's like, you know, it's something to be proud of. And, you know, yourself, you've, you know, the Roller Hawks won their first championship 20 years ago to where they are now. It's like, if that foundation wasn't started by people like yourself, you wouldn't have role models like Tristan and Luke, you know, out there. And obviously Tristan's new role at the Paul Kembla Hospital, it's only, you know, facilitating that, passing on our knowledge and you know, showing what people can achieve. So you know, you've got to be proud of that, where things were to where the club is now as well.
I'll give you a different perspective on a person with a disability. Okay, so we've got amputees, we've got paraplegic, we've got quadriplegics, and we've got spina bifida. But we also got engineers, financial accountants, teachers, doctors, draftspeople, designers. Like that, they're all there. You know, like
exactly.
You know. So there's this, you can look at him and say, oh, he's got a disability, but hang on, he might be a doctor, you know, or,
that's right.
or a bloke who's going to engineer your house, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And it's great to see that they're, you know, succeeding in all aspects of their life. And, you know, that wouldn't have been the case in, you know, late 80s, early 90s. It was like, if you had a disability, it was, you know, options were very limited.
Yeah.
And, you know, myself and yourself, like, we both had our injuries in 96 about that. So, you know, from where things were to, you know, the technology and things that are in place today, I'm sure you've seen with technology with your amputee, like the way prosthetic legs have changed and things like that over the time, is just allowing people to be more inclusive and to be able to achieve much more.
I used to have a lot of trouble with my prosthetic leg. I used to have a sleeve on my leg, and I walk out the front doorstep and I hope it didn't fall off, because of, you know, you change your, you get a bit lighter, or you can sweat. Anyway, I had the osseointegration. Have you heard about the osseointegration?
Yeah.
Dr. Almedeiras.
They drill into the bone.
Yeah, so I got a titanium rod here,
Yeah.
and there's no way this leg's going to come off. You know, so I don't have to worry about that aspect. So you're right, you know, about the advancements.
Yeah.
I had something to do, not with that, but I had something to do where I didn't want to have a leg that was going to go up and down. I gave some ideas, and anyway, I'm happy today. You know, that it's like chalk and cheese. A lot of people don't like this because there's a you know, a stud sticking out, but you know, being a practical thing, it's like wheelchairs.
Exactly.
They've developed as well from our perspective.
Yeah.
You know, I'm driving a Porsche around when I'm on the court.
Exactly right. I was like, I went and watched the Roller Hawks when they played in Brisbane at the national champs, and you know, just the logistics of, you know, just one person travelling on a plane, let alone having, you know, a team of people needing their playing wheelchair and then their everyday wheelchair. Like, you know, some of those things, I couldn't imagine when you're starting the league, like the Roller Hawks back in 2001, like the logistics of getting people around and how we do that, and to where we are now. Like, it's just amazing that we have those opportunities to be able to do that.
One of our successes is that we have got a close-knit group that runs us. You know, we've got a committee, all volunteers. Jeff Adams is a fantastic president. We've got, you know, people with accounting background, people who can write stuff to get sponsorships. we've got a really good group. We're considered the best group in Australia, right? Some of the other ones don't want to consider that, but New South Wales Wheelchair Sports have said that we are the one to look at, the way we do it. But it's based on all these people that are helping us. We've got people on court and we've got a whole heap of people behind us. And they're just fantastic, like you're behind us. There you go. See, you're helping us.
Exactly. Yeah. And look, it's the culture of the Roller Hawks like that brought us in. Like I'm obviously, a business owner with a person with a disability and wanting to see other people do well. But when you're around the Roller Hawks, you can tell that culture and that sense of supporting each other, and nobody's above anybody else. And that's obviously started from the years back in the day to now, and the guys that are on the team now putting that out in the community as well. So it's it's very hard to get that culture in a company or a team, but to maintain it over so many years, that's just a credit to the Roller Hawks and the people that are involved.
The fastest I've gone so far is about 32 kilometers an hour. Downhill with a tailwind. Yeah, blind luck on my side. I think having Just Better Care personnel in my life has been a great benefit. It just makes me feel more confident. My wife has to do a lot of my work for me. It's nice that she can tell someone, will you do this for my husband? It takes a little strain off her. Yeah.
When I look at my members, there's two ways they get a disability. One is it's either a birth thing or they have an accident, and even like at my age when I was 45 or 44, which is a few years ago now, but your life changes, and you wonder, what am I going to do? And you've done well, you're still running a business, which is fantastic, and I like the business you're running.
Thank you.
Yeah. The other thing, we've got the Slam Down Under, and I'm behind setting up something like wheelchair basketball in the Shoalhaven area. Now, I've got two reasons for that. One is it'll be a feeding club for the Roller Hawks, because we're a small area compared to all the capital cities. Yeah. And also, there's people there that can gain from having that service available, or that event, or that activity available. And I'm putting some time. I've been putting some time in there for a while, and I finally got a commitment from Wheelchair Sports saying that in the first quarter of next year they're going to set it up. Now, that takes a lot of work.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah. You're definitely a go-getter. Yeah, you're not slowing down anytime soon, which that's great for the Roller Hawks, and and the kids that are going to be coming up from Shoalhaven now. So
well, they'll have their own. That will happen. But they'll have their own training over there. It'll be a hub, and then from that hub, we can go train there. They can come train here, and some of those players will end up playing for the Roller Hawks in the future. Yeah. At the moment we have to find players from all different aspects, places. We've got a really good, solid core of local people, but because of the point structure, sometimes we might need to chase that low point or something. But
always looking for opportunities anyway.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's right, exactly. And so you obviously touched on some of yourself. You don't want to toot your own horn, but we're here to do that as well and celebrate your achievements, and reflecting on your legacy. Obviously, as you said, you're a life member of Wheelchair Sports New South Wales, and had a lot of recognition over the years. Looking back, what are you most proud of, or what are some of those standout memories for yourself from start to where we are now?
Well, I look at it, and and I've got all these people participating and coming to training and doing their thing, whether it's social or fitness or competition, and I've got a fantastic committee. I'm arm's length from the committee. I do that on purpose, because if I get involved with there, then I'm going to be running it. I don't want to be running it. I want time to look ahead and look around. Whereas Jeff Adams, he's the president. He's running that, and I'm really happy that he's so good.
You're the ideas man.
Well,
you come to them.
I always ask, what are we doing? What should
Yeah.
we be doing?
Yeah.
You know, and how do we get there? When? That sort of thing. And whereas other people haven't got that, they're just running the club, which is really important.
Definitely.
I'm lucky. I can do what I like to do. I've done it all my life.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it sounds like you're the right man for that job as well. You can, foresee what needs to happen and go out there and get it and use your connections. And
Yeah, I ask questions. What can we do this? And the committee gives me answers and they they support it. I keep asking questions.
Best way to be. And in terms of what you have achieved, what are you most proud of?
Well, when I first started with the Roller Hawks in 2001, I was hoping to win a title. Right, we won our first title in our third year, and now we've got 7. It's operating by itself, as far as I'm concerned. It's operating by itself. It's got a good future. There's a lot of people involved, and that's what I'm proud of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you think they would be as successful as what they have been?
Well, not when I first started. I was hoping to win one title.
I think anyone would like to win
but
one
like
title.
there's times when we one time we were at the finals and our guys all had diarrhea, so we didn't win that one. And we were sick, but people were going off and coming back on. And another time,
that could have been a very awkward match.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but there's cases like that. We could have 9 by now, but it is what it is. And we've got. I made up this shield. It's got our premierships on it, titles. There's 2 left on there. There's 9 altogether. There's 2 little railway spikes.
Spots left. Yeah.
But when I first set that up, that was okay. We can look at it, remember it and feel good. But there's always things that everybody else likes. A lot of people just like coming there. I've got an old bloke who comes there just to push around. He's actually older than me too. There's not many older than me, but so there's something out there. I've helped set it up. It's running really well. I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, and look, it's given people so many opportunities to either represent Australia or, as you said, just come along for that social aspect and just to be part of a team where a lot of kids feel isolated when they've had an injury or a disability. They may not be the best athlete in the world, but they can come along, be part of a group, and have some fun for an hour and not have to worry about other issues that are going on in their life. So by giving people that opportunity, that's definitely something to be proud of. Obviously, you're a visionary and looking forwards. What do you think the sport needs, or the sport for people with disabilities in general? Is there something you see that how can we make it better, or what can we do?
Okay, yeah. Well, people with disability, they've got different disabilities. In wheelchair basketball, if you're a paraplegic, you're worth 1 point, and then if you're you're an amputee, you could be 4.5, and you're allowed to put 14 points on the court, right? And what they did in the last couple of years, when I was at the wheelchair sports, they had some people come in fresh from university and they wanted to change the world. They made it 17 points.
Okay.
So you can have 4 big guys and 1 little guy. And I'm trying to, at this stage, get that to be equal. I think every person with a disability should have equal opportunity to play. Now, wheelchair sport, as it was designed, does that. So there's not many sports where, I guess all sports, have some recognition of their strength. But in able-bodied sport, it's how good you are. But in disabled basketball, there's a spot for those people, there's a spot for those, and you can only get 14 points on the court, which I think is really, really good.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. It's kind of cutting a lot of people out. As you said, if you're changing it to 17, you can have 4 Tristans on the court rather than only having 1 Tristan on the court.
That's right.
It's going to make a very.
So one of the I've got it down back to 16 points this year. Division 1, which is the elite division, is 14 points. Division 2, which is where I play, that I tried to get down to 15, but what we found out was that there's teams now that can't make 16 points because they're full of giants. All their little blokes are gone.
Yeah.
And we're finding that we have to go chasing for low pointers to make teams, which is, in reflection, I should have picked that up on that years ago, but you know, it worked.
Yeah.
But now it's been abused. So yeah.
Yeah, look, it's obviously, you know, challenging times, and you want to make the sport accessible for all, or for as many as possible, and not exclude you know, some of those people out. So yeah, look, obviously sports want to grow, but let's hope that you know, the publicity that the Roller Hawks get, and hopefully, you know, they had a bad go at the World Champs this year, the Australian team, but let's hope they qualify for Paris 2024, and you know, can do well, and you know, maybe get back on the podium there, and you know, highlight the sport again, and then more people will be interested in getting on board again. So.
Yeah. So what happens if you're the best? Everybody tries to beat you.
Exactly.
You know, and we're the best. We'll be right. You know.
Yeah. So obviously we've talked about the Roller Hawks, but what's the future hold for you?
Okay. So I'll start by saying that I'm 72 this year, and people ask me, how much longer are you going to go? And I think about it, and I think, oh well, 10 years maybe. You know, I don't know how long. And I say, well, I set up the Masters competition so I can keep going. So whilst I can get on the court and train and push, I won't compete as much, but I still enjoy the training, and I still train with the guys that can compete. So while I stay healthy, I will keep getting involved. So I can't answer the question. You know, I reckon I'm hoping to make 80. You know, you know, I don't know.
Amazing.
It's one of those. When I first started, I picked the number 55. It was the biggest number you could have, and I picked it because I was aiming to play till I was 55. I played till I was about 65 or something. But you know, so I set myself a target. I'll just keep going. I'm not going to draw it. And now
keep extending the number out.
Yeah. So what I've had to do is I've had to introduce a competition so that, you know, all the old guys can do it.
Exactly right.
So you know, I'll just I enjoy it so much. I get fitness out of it. If I don't keep myself fit here, I am so much more disabled, because to get up and down, I use my arms all the time.
Definitely.
So you know, I'm just looking ahead, trying to lose a bit of weight.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, but I'll stay involved in one way or another.
Yeah. And look, I think the club has been obviously lucky to have you from start to where it is now and going forward. You know, obviously it's in great hands, but we don't let people like you, when we find them, sneak away too quietly. So you know, we'll let you go to Berbigue and do your fishing and things like that. But I'm sure Jeff and the rest of the Roller Hawks will always be you know, tapping on your door to get a little bit of wisdom or insight, or I'm sure one of the next players on the Australian team is probably somebody that you found at Shellharbour Square or down in Nowra, maybe, while you're out.
Or perhaps somebody that you find for us.
Exactly right. Let's hope so. No, it's been great to speak to you, and you know, get some words of wisdom and find out the history of the club. It's, you know, good talking to Luke and Tristan about, you know, their history and where they're going, and the future of the club moving forward. But you know, where it started is also important to know that history. So thank you for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome. You've been too kind to me.
Oh, not at all. No, we appreciate it. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I am who I am, and we'll see what happens here.
Exactly.
I'm always looking around to see what needs to be done.
That's all right. I might get a tap on my shoulder one day. I'll be like, hold on a minute, you've already spoken to me before. So But no, I appreciate your time today. So thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Let Just Better Care provide the in-home support you need to live independently. Visit justbettercare.com today.